الرحيم إن الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تبارك وتعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله تعالى فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار نسأل الله العزيز الغفار أن يجيرنا وإياكم من عذاب النار. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the ni'mah of Islam. Alhamdulillah ala ni'mat al-Islam wa kafa biha ni'mah. We praise Allah for the bounty of Islam. If it was the only bounty that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed upon us, by Allah it would be sufficient. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you and I from the ones that truly give Him thanks for the multitude of ni'am, of bounties that He subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us. There are so many that we cannot account for them. وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. And شوف سبحان الله قال وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ وَلَمْ يَقُلْ نِعَمَ اللَّهِ. If you try to hold account of the bounty in singular of Allah, you will not be able to. You will not be able to really hold account of it. One bounty, and subhanAllah, the bounty of, for example, just the eyesight. If you think about it, it's considered one bounty. But subhanAllah, if you try to see what kind of bounty it is, wallahi, you will not be able to. Jazakallah khair. Zamzam, mashallah. So go ahead and drink it now? Okay. Bismillah. Zamzam, mashallah. Bismillah. Zamzam lima shuribat lah. So before you drink, always make sure that you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something, because Allah ta'ala will make it happen. Bismillah. Jazakallah khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow you to drink from Hawd al-Kawthar, and all the brothers and the sisters here, inshallah ta'ala. So what bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we would not be able to keep count of it. Look at this bounty of Zamzam, tremendous water that has existed for thousands of years. And all the experts now, they dig and they try to find out where does the water come from. They have no idea. They're baffled. In the middle of the desert, the millions of gallons that are being taken out of there. You go to either Mecca, where Zamzam is, or in Medina, that is hundreds of miles away, and you find thousands and thousands of gallons sitting there, as the brother just came back from there. Where does all that water come from? Subhanallah, a bounty from Allah. But going back to the eyesight, If you remember the hadith that I mentioned in our previous series about the abid, that worshipper that was in an island, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed him to worship for 600 years. And then after 600 years he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take his soul while he's doing sujood. And that's what happened when he was brought forth in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of reckoning. Allah says, Ya Jibreel, take my servant to Al-Jannah with my mercy, bi-rahmati. So the man, obviously was a worshipper, but he was lacking some knowledge. He said, Ya Allah, no, I would like to go to Al-Jannah with my bi'amali, with my deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him another chance and said, no, with my mercy. No, Ya Allah, with my deeds. So Allah ta'ala ordered Jibreel to bring the ni'am of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You'll find this hadith in many narrations of it. The ni'am of Allah, the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was said that Jibreel brought just the bounty of the eyesight, ni'matul basar, and put it on one side, and he brought all the 600 years of worship. And subhanAllah, the ni'mah, the bounty of the eyesight was a lot heavier on the scale. Subhanallah. So one bounty from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you spend 600 years worshiping Allah non-stop, thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will not be able to pay for it. So Allah, these are all mercies and generosities from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I would like to, before I continue, to mention, subhanAllah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from our brothers that were in Hajj, and hani'an lahum, wallahi, glad tidings and good news to them that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invited them. And you have to understand, doesn't matter how healthy you are, doesn't matter how wealthy you are, because this is al-istita'a. Hajjul bayti liman istata'a ilayhi sabila. The fifth pillar of Islam is to do the pilgrimage to the house of Allah for the ones that are able to. The ability is physical first, and then financial. So this is the ability, subhanAllah. But there are people that have the ability, but if Allah Ta'ala does not invite them to His house to perform that beautiful act of worship, life-changing act of worship, they will not be able to do so. They will not be able to get there. Do you know that I heard that from not one person, but from many people? There are people that literally make the trip. They make the trip, they get to Mecca, they enter Al-Haram, they look at the Kaaba, they turn right back, and they leave. I did hear this once or many times. They had the ability, they had the money, they made the trip, they were not invited. And as soon as they entered, they were kicked right out. They don't even know themselves why. They don't even know. They didn't do tawaf, they didn't do anything. Walked in, walked right out. And of course there are people, subhanAllah, that unfortunately, that are locals. They live there. They live in Mecca. And this is I heard from many du'at, callers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They start having conversation with people that are locals, and they find out that some of them, they have never entered Al-Haram. People live in Mecca. They're locals. They have never set foot in the Haram of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. والمحن من حرمه الله. The deprived is the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is deprived. So all of these are ni'am from Allah. The brothers that went and did the Hajj, did the pilgrimage, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from them. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep them clean from the sins, as the Prophet said, Al-Hajjul Mabrur, laysa lahu jaza'un illa al-Jannah. The Hajj that was accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it has no reward except what? Al-Jannah, subhanAllah. And it shows us the importance of acceptance. And this is where the people of the book completely deviated from the teachings of their prophets, deviated from the true message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. they started talking about it as if it was math. 1 + 1 = 2. That means if you do this or do that, that's it. The result is going to be this. You believe, you are saved. It doesn't work that way. It has never worked that way, and it will never work that way. Because all of it depends on the acceptance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you remember, we mentioned this hadith many times. لما نزل قول الله تبارك وتعالى الذين يؤتون ما آتوا وقلوبهم وجلة. The ones that put forth that which they put forth while their hearts are full of fear. Aisha radiallahu anha misunderstood the ayah. She said, Ya Rasulullah, are these the ones that steal and cheat and drink alcohol and do all these things? He said, no. Ya Aisha, لا يا ابنة الصديق. No, daughter of a Siddiq. But it's the opposite. It's the people that pray and fast and do the pilgrimage, but they are afraid that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not accept from them. The most important part of this whole equation is the acceptance of Allah. Does Allah ta'ala accept you? Will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your deeds? And of course it is going to depend on your intention before the deed, your intention during the deed, your intention after the deed, and how well you performed it, and was it in accordance to the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All of these things are extremely important. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept us and accept our deeds, our deeds that are so small and so mundane, but this is what we can do. This is the effort that we can put forth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive our shortcomings. The second thing I would like to talk about is, subhanAllah, as a continuation of what I mentioned in Khutbah al-Jumu'ah. Ya ikhwa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved us from a big calamity. When you look at, as I mentioned in the khutbah, the magnitude of that storm, and the size, the sheer size of it, and the power with which it was coming, as they say, we have dodged, not a bullet, we have dodged a rocket. Wallahi, if the thing kept going at that same strength, the outcome would have been a lot different. You and I would not be sitting right now talking about it. So wallahi, I can't stress this enough. Let us be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let us be thankful. I talked about the fact that the people out there, they believe in the science and technology, and for them it's nature. But for us, the science and technology, wallahi, it helps strengthen our iman. We see the thing coming. We see how much power it was carrying. We have an idea of how much damage it can do. Then in the last minute we see the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intervene. And subhanAllah, against all odds, the thing slows down, it weakens. Subhana Rabbi al-Azim. Wallahi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very merciful with us. I wanted to start a mini-series. Too bad we didn't get a chance to finish the previous series that I spent a few weeks on, but we basically covered the majority of it. This mini-series, I entitled it الكوارث بين المنح والمحن. The calamities, the catastrophes between, listen to the word play in Arabic, منح, محن, same letters. المنح والمحن, they're the same letters, but they are completely opposite of each other in meaning. المنح are the bounties and the gifts. المحن is the hardships and the calamities. Same words. منح, محن. Subhanallah. So, الكوارث, the catastrophes between the hardship and the bounty, or the bounty and the hardship. But the first thing I want to spend a little time on is the rih, the wind as, because of the calamity, the catastrophe that was coming our way, has to do with the wind mostly. I want to spend a few minutes talking about the wind as it is described in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A few minutes, inshallah ta'ala. Allah Azza wa Jalla يقول سنريهم آياتنا في الآفاق وفي أنفسهم حتى يتبين لهم أنه الحق. We will show them our signs in the horizon, in this universe, and in their own selves, until they become certain and that this is the truth. Boys, keep it quiet, please. We'll show them the ayat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us His ayat, His signs, every single day. And then go back to the matter of science. My only issue with this matter of science, not the fact that these discoveries are good and the fact that they were able to see more and know more about the universe, all of that is beautiful. But as I mentioned in the khutbah of Jum'ah, my issue is when they take the will of Allah, the control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala out of it. And that becomes a big problem. Yes, the science shows us that we can call them nature, but who controls that nature? Who controls it? It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The two can go hand in hand, but when there's one without the other, especially the science part without the part about the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that there is a serious imbalance. We will show them our ayat, we'll show them our signs in the horizon and in their own selves. SubhanAllah. The Sahaba radiallahu anhum, the companions of the Prophet sallallahu, the companions, when they heard this ayat for the first time, they said, okay, they probably understood the part about the horizon, the moon and the sun and the rain, these phenomena that they were able to see themselves. But when it comes to showing signs in yourself, they didn't have as much information as we do. That's why Quran is good for the past, the present, and the future. You will always be good. But now, after all the technology, the X-rays and the CAT scan and all of that, the ultrasounds, now we really understand the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in ourselves, and how intricate and how complicated of a system that we are as human beings. How, subhanAllah, well engineered, when a person is healthy, you see how everything is balanced and how well engineered he is by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. صنع الله الذي أتقن كل شيء. SubhanAllah, the creation of Allah that has perfected everything. Wallah, you see the perfection, the bloodstream, the fact that, imagine if you had control over your heart, and you had some kind of, what do you call those, crank. Imagine you have a crank to keep your heart going. The whole time you're like, okay. And then how can you sleep? How can you rest? You let go of the crank. The heart stops. SubhanAllah. You have no control. It is Allah that controls your heart. And He keeps going. He keeps your bloodstream. SubhanAllah. These things that the Sahaba could not appreciate as well as we do, but now we see clearly what it means. The signs of Allah في أنفسكم, in your own selves. So this hurricane that we had a few days ago, that was, SubhanAllah, the danger of it was the wind and the damage that it could make, and the possible flood. We'll talk about the wind, inshallah ta'ala, a little bit in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will notice when you read the book of Allah, that when He mentions al-riyah and He mentions al-rih. He mentions al-riyah and al-rih. Al-riyah, what's the difference? Do you guess what's the difference of Fadil? What's the difference between al-riyah and al-rih? Both have to do with the wind. But what is the difference? الرياح and الريح. Any idea? No. I want the non-Arabs to answer this one, to kind of guess.
You can tell them all.
Maybe size and strength.
Huh?
Maybe size and strength.
Size and strength. No, actually it's something a lot simpler than that. Maybe the guy next to you want to answer? What's the difference, Hisham? الرياح and الريح. Really? You're thinking about it? Scratch you. How about you? Are you serious? الريح. Yes. Thank you. So الريح is singular. الرياح is plural. It's very simple. Jazakallah khair, Hisham. You saved face. So, you will find, subhanAllah, that when Allah talks about al-riyah in plural, it's always something good. طيبة. Subhanallah. When he talks about al-rih in singular, you are in trouble. It's something negative, subhanAllah. It's something that comes and destroys and devastates and all of that. Subhanallah. Someone can say, well, Shaykh, wait a minute. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, هو الذي يسيركم في البحر في البر والبحر حتى إذا كنتم في الفلك وجرين بهم بريح طيبة. Someone can block me here and say, Shaykh, wait a minute. How about this ayah? Allah ta'ala says, He's the one that allows you to travel in the land, enables you to travel in land and sea. Until when you are in ships, and they sail with them by a gentle wind. A good wind means the wind that will get you going, and gives you some speed on the water, but does not cause any damage. But Allah Ta'ala said wind, the. So what say you about that? What say ye about that? But subhanAllah, you have to look at the rest of the ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in this particular ayah the word rih, but he talked and said the word tayyiba, good, sweet, gentle. After it, you have to look at the rest of the ayah, subhanAllah. Then the rih, like I said, al-rih in singular is always connected with punishment and torment and destruction, subhanAllah. But rih tayyiba means the opposite, al-hudu, that is calm, that is gentle, all of that. قال الله عز وجل, the rest of the ayah, وَفَرِحُوا بِهَا. Today, Allah Ta'ala sent that rih in singular, tayyiba, nice. And they got so happy with it. They got pleased with it. جاءتها. That's the rest of the ayah. جاءتها ريح عاصف. This is rih. Another wind. A wind of a hurricane wind came after that. وجاءهم الموج من كل مكان وظنوا أنه محيط بهم. After they rejoiced with that wind, that gentle wind, they saw it as a gentle wind. Then it became a storm wind, and the waves came upon them from everywhere. And they assumed, they saw that they were surrounded completely, and they started supplicating Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sincere to Him in religion. And this happened, because Allah ta'ala mentioned this a lot in the Quran. You'll find a group of people that deny the existence of Allah, that disbelieve in it. But subhanAllah, they find themselves in dire straits. Like for example, you are in a boat in the middle of the ocean, and the waves become bigger than your boat, and you feel like you're about to drown. What is the first thing they say? Oh God, subhanAllah. Wait, just a few minutes ago you were denying His existence, but it is al-fitrah, the natural disposition of a person that comes out. They start making supplication to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They start calling Allah sincere to Him in religion, subhanAllah. And they say, if you should save us from this, we will surely be from the thankful ones. Incidentally, ya ikhwan, I'm going to open a clause here. We should be very careful not to fall into this category of people. Because nowadays, there are actually Muslims that you'll find in this particular category. They go about their daily business, about their daily lives, completely forgetting about Allah. And then, when they find themselves in a calamity, when they find themselves in a situation that is difficult, then only then they go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, save us, oh Allah, and they make supplications to Him. And some of them, they even do a nadr. Anybody knows what a nadr is? What is a nadr? Salam alaikum. What is a nadr? You close. What's the word that we're looking for here? Maybe the Jamaican ninja can help us today. What is a nadr? Something that is higher than a promise. You say, Allah, if you make this happen for me? No. Allah, if you make this happen, so such and such happen for me, I will do this and this and that. Huh? But there's a word. Not a covenant. Yes, well, we can say covenant, but there's actually. Yes.
Pact or ultimatum.
Pact is good. We get, it's close. It's more than a promise. But pact, commitment is good. So all these, this is the beauty of the Arabic language. You can get close to the meaning, but really, there you go. That's the one that we're looking for. A vow. You make a vow.
He just got married.
He just got married, so yeah. These vows are very new. These vows are new, so he remembered. Okay, excellent. So you make a vow. I want to tell you something here. A lot of people do this, especially from the Arabs. I don't know about our brothers from India, Pakistan, same thing? Okay. You have to understand that making a vow and nadr is something permissible, but it is hated by Allah, and it's a lack of courtesy with Allah. قِلَّةُ أَدَبٍ مَعَ اللَّهِ. Did you guys know that? Allah Ta'ala, the Prophet ﷺ made sure to tell us that when you make a vow with Allah, you have to fulfill it. But making a vow is actually a lack of courtesy with Allah. Oh Allah, if you make this happen for me, I will fast Mondays and Thursdays for the rest of my life. Okay? Although it is permissible, but it is makruh, hated. Why? Because you are dealing with al-Kareem. تَتَعَامَلُوا مَعَ الْكَرِيمِ. You are dealing with Allah the Generous, subhanahu wa ta'ala. All you have to do is make supplication. Oh Allah, invoke Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the ways that you're supposed to invoke Him, by making the salah on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and invoking Allah by the names and attributes that have to do with the thing that you're asking for, and make your supplication. And look at the times of supplication, the times where the supplication is accepted. The last third of every night, between the adhan and the iqamah, the hour on Friday of Jumu'ah, all of those times are times of invocation. But don't do an-nadr. Subhanallah. How did I get here talking about an-nadr? There you go. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. See? MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah that we have a mutariq with us, the brain of the operation, MashaAllah. So, people, they start making a vow. Oh Allah, if you save us from this, we will do, and we will become, and we'll do, and we will worship you alone, and we will do, and I will slaughter 10 cows for your sake, and this and this and that. And then when the thing Allah Ta'ala makes it happen for them, what happens? They completely forget. Or, if someone reminds them, say, brother, you said you're going to slaughter 10 cows and give it for the sake of Allah. It's like, would a chicken work? تشيكن اور تو ما ينفعش فرخة ولا فرختين ها؟ سبحان الله رب العرش العظيم. سبحان الله. فthis is the case of it. مش كده محمد؟ ها؟ بيقول لك بقرة وجاموسة وجمالين وبعدين بيقول لك كتكوتة ما ينفعش. كتكوتة و11 بيضة. الحمد لله. So, subhanAllah, this, Allah Ta'ala talks about this in the Quran in many places because this kept happening. People find themselves in a situation. They make a vow. I wonder the excellent English teacher, how she would pronounce the word vow. Allah understand. The Siyason woman. They make a vow and then they break it. And by the way, although making a vow is a lot of courtesy with Allah, breaking a vow becomes a problem. It becomes a sin. Subhanallah. Another, especially the fasting. Once you make a vow to fast, that fast becomes as mandatory as Ramadan. You have to fast it. That's it. And if you break it, something bad is going to happen to you. Allah Ta'ala will punish you. Punishes the people in this life before the hereafter. So subhanallah, the wind, like I said, whenever it is al-riyah in plural, it is something good. But when Allah talks about al-rih in singular, then these people are in trouble. فما هي وظائف الريح كما ذكرها الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه. يقول الله عز وجل: والذاريات ذروا والذاريات ذروا فالحاملات وقرا فالجاريات يسرا فالمقسمات أمرا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, frequently in the Quran you find that He swears an oath. يقسم تبارك وتعالى وهو العظيم تبارك وتعالى والعظيم لا يقسم إلا بعظيم. Allah Ta'ala, He only swears an oath by that which is important and tremendous, as we saw when we're in the first time of the Hijjah, wal-Fajr, wal-Layal al-Ashr, by the dawn and by the 10 nights. Allah swears an oath by times that are extremely important, subhanAllah. وَالذَّارِيَاتِ ذَرْوًا, these are winds. For by those winds that scatter and disperse. They scatter things and disperse things. فالحاملات وقرا. ما معنى فالحاملات وقرا؟ نسأل النابغة الفلوجي ولا هذه؟ لا، حاملات مي. نعم، سحاب. And those clouds that are carrying a load of water. حاملات وقرا. فالجاريات يسرا. جاريات يسرا. هذا الله عز وجل يتكلم عن هذه الريح التي تجري السفن بيسر. Subhanallah. And those ships that are sailing with ease, meaning the wind that comes and allows them to sail with ease. فالمقسمات أمرا. هذه الملائكة مقسمات أمرا, the angels that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends to disperse the decrees of people, their sustenance, their bounties, and all of that, subhanallah. So, الداريات هي الرياح التي تذر التراب والماء ذروا وتثيره وتحركه فيتناثر الغبار أو الضباب. سبحان الله. الدارية ذروة كما قال الله عز وجل فأصبح هشيما تذروه الرياح. Allah Ta'ala talks about the crops of people, the greenery, that it grows and it becomes so beautiful, but with time it becomes yellow and it just starts breaking down into pieces. فأصبح هشيما تتهشم, breaks down into pieces. تذروه الرياح. Subhanallah, that becomes scattered with the wind. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ مقتدرا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is incidentally drawing our attention here to something very important to the life of this world. SubhanAllah. Who can tell me the ayah from the beginning? Yalla. Hey. Can you tell me the ayah from the beginning? The one that has فَأَصْبَحَ هَشِيمًا تَدْرُوهُ الرِّيَاحُ. Yeah. Surah Al-Kahf. That you know. Huh? Yeah. لا. حامي. فأصبح حمزة يوتيوب. فأصبح هشيما تدعوه الرياح. واضرب لهم هي حمزة واضرب لهم مثل الحياة الدنيا كماء نبات الأرض رياح وكان الله على كل شيء مقتدرا. يا الله. واضرب لهم مثل الحياة الدنيا. Strike an example, a parable for them. The life of this world. What is the example of the life of this world? Just like كَبَائِرْ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ. A water that we sent down from the heavens. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. Allah Ta'ala made everything out of water. Created everything out of water. Without water, nothing would be alive. SubhanAllah. كَمَاءٍ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ. We brought it down from the heavens. فاختلط به نبات الأرض. The earth, anything that grows in the earth got mixed with it. Meaning that, subhanAllah, it is because of that water that everything green, all that flora started growing. SubhanAllah. فاختلط به نبات الأرض. The ayah in the third page of Surah Al-Sajdah that we mentioned every morning on Friday. أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا أَنَّا نَسُوقُ الْمَاءَ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ الْجُرُزِ فَنُخْرِجُ بِهِ زَرْعًا تَأْكُلُ مِنْهُ أَنْعَامُهُمْ وَأَنْفُسُهُمْ أَفَلَا يُبْصِرُونَ. Don't they see that we drive water to the arid land? Not barren, has nothing. Then with that water we make nabat, plants grow, and zara, crops grow that their animals and themselves eat from. What did he mention the animals before the human beings, by the way? Do you know? He said that these crops grow and the animals and themselves eat from. Yeah, because animals can just walk up and eat. They don't have to cook anything. So they're the first ones to taste the merchandise. Good. So, subhanAllah, the zara, the crops that grow from a land that was arid, Allah Ta'ala drops water on it. And then it makes these crops grow and that the animals and the humans eat from. So don't you see and consider, contemplate, ponder upon this? SubhanAllah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is drawing a parable, and I'll probably close with this because we're already almost 40 minutes, drawing a parable for us to consider, to look at the life of this world. Just like water, that Allah ta'ala drops from the heavens, and then it gets mixed with the land, and then subhanAllah, nabatul ard, the plants grow, and then subhanAllah, sooner or later, it doesn't matter how good those plants are. Sooner or later, فَأَصْبَحَ هَشِيمًا. Allah Ta'ala jumped many stages. He jumped to the end, to the last stage. أَصْبَحَ هَشِيمًا. The plants become yellow, then they start breaking down, decomposing, and they just break into small pieces. Al-Hashim. Banu Hashim. كان يهشم. SubhanAllah. Hashim, one of the ancestors of the Prophet ﷺ, this is his nickname, because he will take bread and he'll break it down for people that come to Hajj for them to eat. Hashiman tadruhu riyah. He became small pieces that the wind carries. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ مُقْتَدِرًا. Allah Ta'ala is the one dominant and capable over everything, subhanAllah. What is this? What is Allah talking about? Your life. You come out of the womb of your mother and you're healthy and you're perfect. Allah Ta'ala created for the majority, and you start growing healthier, stronger, and you get until you reach your peak, and then you start going backwards. SubhanAllah, that perfection you have in your body will start breaking down slowly, and then what happens? You get to it, you die, they put you in the grave, and all of a sudden you are into pieces, subhanAllah. And this is not just a human being, but this whole life. Allah is telling you, don't get too consumed with it. Don't get your heart connected with it, because it is not lasting. It's just a few minutes. And in the scale of Allah, it's only a few minutes. A day with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is like 1,000 years. وَيَوْمٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ كَأَلْفِ سَنَةٍ مِمَّا تَعُدُّونَ. A day with your Lord is like 1,000 years from what you count. So, subhanAllah, 1,000 years. How long do we live? 60, 70? Compare that to 1,000 years. It's not even a day in the scale of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, don't get too consumed. Look at the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala conveys this message for us. الرمز. سبحان الله. ما هو الرمز بالله؟ This was a parable. Using parable to explain to us that don't get too consumed with the life of this world, because it's going to pass by so quickly. And everything that you are so happy with and you rejoice with that you were given, you will lose it, regardless of what you do. There is nothing you can do about it. SubhanAllah. Might as well, what is the alternative? Might as well use all that you were given for one goal. For one goal. That life that will be everlasting. That life that will go on forever. Those plants of Al-Jannah that will never go bad. The trees of Al-Jannah that will always give fruits on a daily basis. You take one fruit, another fruit takes its place. Take one fruit, subhanAllah. لا مقطوعة ولا ممنوعة. Subhanallah. It's not forbidden, it never gets discontinued. It keeps coming. You don't need incidentally, subhanAllah. That's why when Yahya alayhi salam entered upon Maryam and he found fruit with her, قال أنى لك هذا. And أنى, the word Zakaria, وكفلها Zakaria. Zakaria, he was the husband of Maryam's aunt. And subhanAllah, being a prophet of Allah, he's the one that took her under his care. Whenever he entered upon her, the area where she prayed, subhanAllah, he will find fruits. But why did Allah Ta'ala use the word anna? He said, min ayna laki hada? كيف أتيت به؟ أنى لك هذا. This is an indication of someone that is puzzled, that is confused. Why would he be confused about fruits? Every time he comes, he finds fruits with her. Why would he be confused? Because he comes upon and he finds watermelon in January, right? And strawberries in December, and oranges in August. He knows. Dates in February, fresh. They didn't have freezers and US food company trucks delivering with big freezers. Oh, mashallah, mango. It's March, it's February. Look at that, subhanAllah. Or things that could be brought from India or Pakistan or Mexico, or they can be flown over, and there you have it. They didn't have that. You eat the fruits of summer in summer and the fruits of winter in winter. And by the way, ya ikhwan, wallahi, this is healthier. The best way to eat is always eat the fruits of the season and the fruits that are local. It's a lot healthier for you. See, this, having everything all the time, it did not do us any favor. Right, Father? I'm going to ask my personal physical therapist. He knows. Am I right? SubhanAllah. They were healthier because of that. You eat what you have in the area at the time. SubhanAllah. So that he's puzzled. أَنَّا لَكِ هَذَا? Where? قَالَتْ هُوَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. He said, verily, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is Allah ta'ala that إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَرْزُقُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives to whoever He wills without any accountability. So, going back, the bottom line is we don't get too consumed with the life of this world. Because look, we had a hurricane, some wind from Allah, and all of a sudden we were deprived of so many things. Water. Water became an issue. You go to stores, the sign outside, no water. No water? In Florida? The state of lakes? Subhanallah. No water. Ya Allah. Just like that. A little thing will happen and you get deprived of things. Things that you are so used to. Wallahi, think about just in Ramadan, just our kids. May Allah Ta'ala give them hidayah. How many bottles of water they waste. They open one, take a sip and destroy it. That's Abu Khamis. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala reward him with the Jannah. All the things that he goes through in Ramadan to keep this place going and keep it. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala reward him. They open one bottle, take a sip and put it down, throw it away. And he collects tens or hundreds of them every night. Subhanallah. And this is, this spray shop, ya Allah. Wallahi, I'm really hoping that the parents of this community, they took advantage of this situation to teach a lesson to their kids. Look at things that we taken for granted. Electricity, light at night, AC, water, all of that is gone. Learn to appreciate it. Learn to appreciate it because it can be gone. Had the hurricane been stronger than this, you could have been deprived for weeks and months. SubhanAllah. Wallahi, and all of us that have children, make this a learning experience. Don't be wasteful to the ni'mah, the bounty of Allah. And don't take it for granted. And don't be ungrateful to Allah for it. As subhanAllah. Wa alaykum salam wa barakatuh. If you are ungrateful towards the ni'mah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you are wasteful to it, wallahi, you can be deprived, as many of you experience deprivation just for a few days. And it's bitter. Na'udhu billahi min as-salbi ba'da al-'ata. We seek refuge in being deprived after being given. Because when you are used to deprivation, it becomes a norm. It becomes normal. It's something that you don't even think about. But when you are given something, and you have it for a long time, and you take it for granted, and you become used to it, and then all of a sudden it's taken away from you, wallahi, you feel the bitterness of it. You feel the bitterness. So, the bottom line, ya ikhwan, let's let our hearts be consumed with the hereafter, al-akhirah, because that's the one that will last forever. Your rivers of water and honey and milk and every kind of fruit juice you can think of in the Jannah will last forever. They will just be more and more being added. Your trees and your crops and the things that you will eat in the Jannah, they will last forever. It is wallahi foolishness, absolute foolishness, to spend all of your energy in working so hard for something that you know Allah Ta'ala said, Hashiman tadruhu riyah, something that's going to break down into pieces and fly in the wind, like it never existed. You spend all of your time and your existence and your energy working for that, and you forget about, you neglect something that will last forever, eternity. And you will enjoy it for eternity, and it only gets better. You know that when people of Al-Jannah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you and I from the people of Al-Jannah, when they enter Al-Jannah, they say that you are, the first time that you enter, but 70,000 angels will be there to welcome you. 70,000 angels. With plates of food. Plates of food. Now, can you imagine eating from 70,000 plates? Going from one to another? Huh? After you get to the third or the fourth plate, huh? Please call for an ambulance. And be taken on a stretcher. SubhanAllah. And look at the ni'mah of food. It is a ni'mah, bounty from Allah. But you are extremely hungry, and those first bites are delicious, but they start getting worse and worse and worse, and then all of a sudden it becomes tasteless, and your body can't handle it anymore, and you have to stop. Jannah is not like that. 70,000 trays of food. Every bite that you take, the one that you take after it, tastes better. And it never stops. Yeah, just for the people that are into the culinary arts and they love food and things like that, Al-Jannah. Food that the malaika of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be preparing for you. Ya Allah. An abundance of it, a supply that never ends, and a stomach that can take it. It's important. Huh? And plus, never get a stomach ache, never have to go to the bathroom, all of it comes out of your skin as misk. SubhanAllah. So you put them in the balance. Which one is worth working for? This one here? Allah says, فَأَصْبَحَ هَشِيمًا تَدْرُوهُ الرِّيَاحُ, the one that will fall into pieces and fly in the wind, like it never existed, or the one that will be there for you forever. Wallahi, the choice is clear. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wake us up from our heedlessness. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to thank Him for His ni'mah. And I have to mention again, as I mentioned in Khutbah of Jum'ah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to be thankful for Him as He bestowed His mercy upon us. As this calamity that was coming towards us, wallahi, if it remained the way it was at the beginning, things would have been a lot worse. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is merciful with us. May He subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to shower His mercy and protection upon you and I and our families. May He subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the ones that when they hear the speech, they follow the best of it. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خيرا. Any questions? تفضل يا فلوج. أيوه أيوه. لا تسبق الأحداث. أنا شو في بداية السلسلة هاي شو أنا راح أتكلم على أنواع الريح في القرآن، أليس كذلك؟ إن شاء الله جاي لك. كون معنا في الأسبوع القادم إن شاء الله. كونوا معنا وستعلمون تسمعون إن شاء الله. هذا سؤال جميل إن شاء الله. It's a good question. Allah is talking about the brother is talking about what Allah Ta'ala says about the people of Ad and the wind that they were afflicted with. But it's something that is coming in my series, inshallah, that I will talk about. From the kinds of wind and the types of wind that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about in the Quran. Jazakumullah khair. Any other questions? Fadl. They're close? Yeah, they're neighbors. They are close, but they're not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same degree. A promise, yeah, it's good. It's important to keep. But a vow is something that, yeah, it has some sacredcy to it. And the promise can be done between you and a person, a human being. But a vow is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So something vow has more weight and has more sacredcy to it. Okay?
So if you say, if somebody gets married, then what do you do with that?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard, isn't it?
Well, that's what they call it here. You know, our vows, our wedding vows, and we renew our vows. But Islamically, it's more of a covenant. وَأَخَذْنَ مِنْكُمْ مِيثَاقًا غَلِيظًا. It is a thick and a heavy covenant. But it's not a vow. It's a little bit different. So Islamically, it's not a vow. This is what they do here. You know, in the Western Hemisphere, they call it a vow, but actually it is, Islamically, it is a covenant. Yeah, mithaq and ghalid. Yeah. Any other questions? بارك الله فيكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.